English translation for the different parts of a course as found in French schools/universities. What would be the transposition to the US schools/university system of the French expressions? Cours, that is lecture, listening to the teacher. Travaux dirigés, lit. Directed works, students usually do exercises on a sheet of paper, and they might sometimes be asked to show their solution on the blackboard. Travaux pratiques, lit. Practical works, exercises in the lab, doing experiments or working in front of a computer. I am aware of the terms, lectures, tutorials, and laboratory, but are they used in the same way? I also heard that the US system often doesn't have travaux dirigés, but I don't know to what extent that's true.
It depends on the type of class, the type of school, and quite possibly geography. When I took engineering and chemistry classes in university, in the United States, we had lecture, recitation, travaux dirigés, and labs, laboratory. In non-science classes, practical work was a part of recitation, and there was no separate laboratory section. This was common in math, statistics, and economics classes. Some smaller classes only had lecture, and all practical work was expected to be performed outside of class. This was common in liberal arts classes, literature, ethics, etc. I have never heard of the term tutorials being used in the United States, but I've heard tell that it's more commonly used in the United Kingdom. Outside of higher education, that is, in elementary, middle, and high schools, it's common to simply have classes without specialized sessions for practical work. For example, in an algebra class, it would be common for a teacher to lecture about a topic and then have students do practical work immediately following. The only exception would be for introductory science classes, such as biology or chemistry, which might have periodic labs to cover topics learned in lecture.
This depends on the country or university. For the US in general, lectures, where the professor, prof, or talks a lot for the whole time, with few questions or interruptions. Recitation or section or discussion. Recitation is more formal, how it might be referred to officially or in course catalogs. Section is what people actually say. Section is usually run by a teaching assistant and can often be lecture-like but is more open to back and forth questions or discussion. It might be a place to have students come up to the board to write out homework solutions or for the TA to present solutions. For a language course, this would be vocal exercises, directed conversation, or general discussion. Other than the latter, this is not particularly travaux or dirigés for literality. Lab or practicum, it depends on the subject. Most sciences say lab, even for software or engineering where you're not in a laboratory.
One might call them lectures, tutorials and practicals, chiefly British.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.